Okay, hey there guys. This is another sort of Swindon PR video. Basically, it's another video kind of similar to the last one I made about the Swindon PR, but basically it's like more focused on the actual PR and less about like the rankings right now sort of thing. Um, if we're talking like rankings as of now, I think are different than like PR period, but like we have to kind of think about a sort of time scale um, as to which we have to sort of like so basically the PR is going to be about it's like a certain period of time throughout the year. The last PR was released in March, which was, I believe, just after Port Smash. So it counts Swine Out of Shield, Swine Out Shield 2, Swine Out Shield 3, and Air 4, basically. New Wave as well. But I think for the time being, we're not gonna count New Wave and Air because a lot of players didn't like play against each other and placements didn't really uh matter too much. There wasn't like a huge significant because like, a lot of the placements were like in pools and stuff, so that's like the mainly the reason. So we're going to be focusing on like the main sort of Swindon like kind of head to head. Um, as for tournaments outside of Swindon, a lot of the players on the list do not really have many like notable uh, tournament placements or whatever. So like I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna create a notepad document and just sort of list. I'm on my new PC now, by the way, so it's like a lot nicer to record. Uh, and I got a new keyboard, so it's like really nice to type on. I'll do top 10. I don't know if we'll do 15, but I'll do I'll figure out a lot of stuff. This may change as well depending on what I feel like. But this is my opinion. I feel like I have the best gauge of kind of where people are at in terms of skill level in the Swindon Melee scene. So first thing I want to kind of say is a lot of people have like they have attended stuff in this time period and like haven't returned. Cal, for example, on this list, he hasn't been to anything since the last release of the last PR. Um, so for that reason, he's not going to be on it, and he no longer lives in Swindon anyway. Uh, he was mainly here for work and stuff. Another person is Tin God, who was here for Swine 2, but isn't actually here anymore. So there's that. There's a couple of people as well that have attended one event, um, and it's very difficult to place them somewhere when they've only attended one event and they've only got very minor differences between certain players. Um, but I guess I'll go ahead and start the list. Like the top three is pretty simple. So first is me. Like there isn't really any argument really. And it's also worth mentioning we've got Booth as well. We've decided to put him on our PR. He's from Bath, but we have decided to add him because his scene is kind of gone now, and he's been to 3 events of ours. So we've got quite a pretty convincing we've got a pretty solid like rank for him basically. Um, and we kind of in Swindon we put people on if they're not in another PR, kind of, if that makes sense. Like a lot of players have been to all of our events from outside the region, but they're on like different PRs. But yeah. So yeah, basically haven't lost a set to anyone on here before. I've came close, like Booth. He's taken me to game 5. Uh, but yeah, basically like haven't really lost to anyone this year so far. So hope to keep that up. And then second we've got Booth. Mainly because he's only lost at me. He's down 0-3 against me, but he's beaten everyone else. His only losses besides me and Swindon are to like uh Dayman and like Frenzy, I think. And he's also, if we look at like the melee placements as well, he's always placed like one below me. Like so when I showed one, he got third, I got second. I got first, he got second, and then I got fourth, he got fifth. So yeah, it's kind of been like he's always just been like one behind basically. Um, Whereas not only has he beaten my next person on the list, Jesus, in the head-to-head, he's also outplaced him. In the head-to-head, Booth is up 2-0 against Jesus. That's the only people that Jesus has lost to is me and Booth. But yeah, so if you look at Jesus, he got fourth, and then Booth got third. So it's kind of like, again, it's kind of been quite a drastic swing. But yeah, so Jesus being third because mainly, again, like he's beaten basically everyone else. He's up 3-0 against solo carry this year. If we click this, we can see. He's beaten Alma Rose. He's beaten Kernus, and he's beaten Dog. He doesn't have that many, like all things considered, he doesn't have that many wins. He's only ever, so this year he's been to, I haven't actually fully filled this out, which is quite bad. He's been to, this year he's been to 3 events total. Smash Leg was 8, where he lost to me, and then Swine 1 and Swine 3, and he hasn't really been to much else. I'm not sure if he's been to anything in Birmingham. He hasn't, like either way, he hasn't got an argument for any more, but also doesn't have an argument for any less. So now fourth place is kind of up for the grabs. Like there's a lot of kind of debate. It's honestly a tie up. It's a toss up between like Solo Carry, Alma, Martin, Inferno, Titanium, and honestly Joey Blaze. Like it's quite a big like kind of toss up. If Tin God was on the list, I'd probably put him fourth. I'd probably put him there because he's about the same. He's got the same kind of placements to start. Like if you look like Tin God, he got third at Swine 2. Tom wasn't actually there, but if you look at like the head to head, if you look at Tom's wins and then look at Tin God's wins, they're kind of like similar-ish. Tom just has like more wins, I guess. So like I would put Tin God here, but we're not going to include him on this PR. I would put him there though. I think that's about how good he is. So like this is when it kind of comes down to we've got Alma, Brandon, Martin. So let's look at placements, okay? They're actually all in the same, right? So at Swine Out of Shield 1, Brandon and Alma tied for 5th. If we look at the bracket, um, Titanium, he lost to me, he beat Dinner, and then he beat Solo Carry and lost to Booth, which is a pretty good run, all things considered. If you look at Alma, she beat Dinner, lost to Booth again, beat Chiron, beat Inferno, and then lost to Jesus. So in that respect, I think Titanium and Alma's that their run was kind of similar. Um, and Martin got 7th, where he beat Sleaze, lost to Frenzy, beat Kernos, and then lost to Alma. So he kind of, out of those three, he had the kind of lesser run, like the less sort of convincing. So we look at Solo Carry as well, because I think it's fair to include Solo Carry, because he honestly, even though he focuses on Smash 4, he honestly hasn't done that bad in Melee this year, to be honest. Beat Jordan King, lost to Tom, and then uh he beat Ethan, and then lost to Brandon. Just want to check it's still recording. Okay, cool. So, and then he got 7th, I think. Yeah. So yeah, so that's so he got 7th along with Martin. So they kind of, placements, like when it comes to like that doesn't really make, there's not a huge difference, like 5th and 7th. If it There's a lot of like other differences in like Smash 4 that is I'll do in another video, but like they matter more than like a one place difference. And then you got Swine 2 where Solo Carry got 5th and Martin got 5th. So they also have like kind of tied arguments. Yeah, what happened to Swine 2? Let's have a look. So Martin beat Diego and lost to me. Beat Dylan again? No. Yeah, they just played once. Then lost to Inferno in a very close set. No, lost to Tin God in a very close set. It's on YouTube actually. It's actually not a bad set. Let's have a look. Let's watch it.
Right.
Oh no, there's a set. Inferno. Fuck's sake. Tin God. That's a spam. This is it. No volume, but it was, well, both of them nearly won. Who the fuck is that? Yeah, it was a pretty good set. But yeah, they had a close set. I think if Martin won that, I might have more of an argument for saying this was like a better tournament. And then what does Solo Carry do? He lost to Tin God, beat DA Garden, beat Dot Dust, and lost to Joey Blaze. Okay, yeah, I'd say Martin's run was better, mainly because he ran into me, and then beat Dinner. So this is the thing as well. Like Dinner comes in and gets absolutely fucked. Like Dylan's actually compared to like how Dinner was doing last year. Like you look at these like 5th. Yeah, it's kind of actually yeah. I don't know. Dylan just sucks at melee. I don't know. He's not got very good arguments and loses. A lot of his losses were close, and if he won those, it would have been a bigger argument, and he probably would be ranked a lot higher. But he's just really not got any good results. Like he's definitely not like shit. Like he can beat noobs, but like he also loses to noobs. I feel like he does better against me than like a lot of the people he's lost to. Yeah. And then you've got Swine 3, which like so Brandon's the thing about Brandon is I think he's about the skill level of these three and Theo. And he's actually beaten Theo in the head to head. Um which gave him the place advantage. However, he's only been to one event this whole year. So I don't know if it's fair to put him above any of these guys. For that reason, I like it's going to be really hard to rank him based on that. So if we look at Swine 3, Alma was there, got 13th. Solo Carry didn't enter because I made a huge mistake, and I'm really sorry, Theo. I literally forgot to like add him into the brackets, even though I made like every precaution, and I have no idea how it was even possible. But yeah, so there's that. But unfortunately he didn't compete, so I can't sympathy, give him a higher rank. Um, but you have Alma and Martin, and Martin actually beat Alma in this tournament. Martin is Inferno, by the way. Beat her 2-0, and then lost to Booth 3-1. Um, yeah, so it's really hard to say, to be honest. Yeah. So if you look at, it's really hard to say, honestly. Swine 2 5th, 5th. Hmm. I think it's honestly fair to put Martin fourth because he's been to everything basically, and he's also improved a lot. Um, again, sorry Theo, if I didn't fuck things up, um, then he would have also attended everything, and he's also got pretty good, not bad results. Um, for that reason, like that being said, uh, I think it's fair to put Martin in fourth, honestly. I think I think that's the safest place to put Martin because his I think like any argument like against that can be proven wrong. Like he's got good placements. He's also got a fairly good head record. Like everyone's beaten dinner. Fucking hell. Holy shit. Um, he's beaten Sleaze. He's beaten. He's won one with Alma. Actually, that is a good point to mention. Alma did actually beat Martin when they played at Swine One. Where at Swine One, Alma did get fifth. So that is a fair argument. However, it's all tied up now, and Martin did fairly convincingly beat her last time. Though who did Alma lose to last time? She lost to Dayman and Martin. Okay, and then Martin lost to Gymshark and then Booth. Yeah, so I think it's fair to put Martin in fourth, honestly, and then fifth. So you've got Alma, Brandon, and Theo. I think for the sake of what was the score between? So they played at Swine One, Titanium and Theo. So Brandon actually won. I feel like he would also do good if he came to the next Swines, but it's really hard to say, honestly. Like Alma has been to. It's really hard to say. So basically, like the argument I have is like Theo got fifth at Swine 2. So did Martin. However, his wins aren't that great. Like Martin's wins are actually more solid, I'd say. Okay, so I'm actually like completely forgetting something here. We've got Joey Blaze, who's been to one event, and he got fourth at Swine 2, and he beat Dinner, lost to me, beat Solo Carry, and then lost to Tin God. So we need to think about Joey Blaze, but he's also only been to one event. A fourth place over. He 3-0'd Solo Carry, Joey Blaze. So let's compare. So basically, I think fourth is fair for Inferno, honestly. Look at Swine 2, Joey Blaze. He outplaced Inferno. However, so let's compare. So the toss-up is Tin God and Titanium. Let's look at Titanium's melee run at Swine 1. Beat Dinner, beat Solo Carry, lost to Booth, lost to me. Beat Dinner, lost to me, beat so they're actually basically identical. So it's basically impossible to say. Wow, it's actually really hard. I think if they were to meet in a head-to-head, I feel like Brandon would take it, but it's also impossible to prove. So it's kind of tied, I guess. Like, how many entrants? So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fourth place out of 9, or fifth out of 15. It's basically impossible to say. Brandon, I think for the sake of for argument's sake, I would put Brandon higher. So I think I'm gonna put Brandon there because I genuinely think I genuinely think we can have a 11 a 10 to 15. Honestly, check 20 minutes. Oh my god. I think it's safe to put Brandon there, and I think we put Joey Blaze 42 in 6th because of his run, and he has also beaten solo carry 3-0. So we're left with Alma and solo carry, 5th and 13th, 7th and 5th. Right, let's compare their Swine 1 runs. Alma Rose. Yeah, I think Alma has the edge in Swine 1. And then the rest of the tournament, so Swine 2, solo carry. Lost to Joey Blaze. Then Swine 3, Alma lost to. Oh, she went 0 and 2. I think for that reason, I would put solo carry higher. I genuinely think that he has the edge, and then I would put Alma there. I think this is fair so far. Like, I think you can justify this. So if I were to justify like Titanium over Joey Blaze, for example, if you compare their head-to-heads, so 5th, and then Joey Blaze has Brandon just has like more impressive wins. Like it's literally that simple. Which is why I would put, you know, him over. And they've both only been to one event. So it's like really hard to place these guys, but at the same time, it's like I feel like they would repeat the. I don't think their placements in the events they attended were flukes. Like a lot of them were close, yes, but I don't think they were by any means flukes. Um, so then we've got the argument. I'm just gonna like do this to people I've like done. Those 3. I'll also color in the people who I'm not including. Okay, so we've got. So then I feel like it's a pretty. So you got 5th. So time periods wise, let's compare, for example. So Dog actually hasn't been to anything since January, so it's kind of like we can't really put Dog anywhere. Dinner. So let's compare like Dinner and Chiron, for example. Okay, so Dinner got 9th, Chiron got 9th, Dinner 7th, and then 13th. So I think it's fairly safe to put Dinner next. I don't think there's like really an argument. Let's have a look. Okay. I think everyone that Dinner's lost to is ranked above him, basically. So let's see Swine 1. Dinner lost to Alma, beat Tommy Hulock, and then lost to Brandon, which is safe. Dinner Swine 2, lost to Joey Blaze, then lost to Martin. Swine 3. Where the fuck is Dinner? Lost to me, and then lost to someone who doesn't even live in Swindon. Yeah. So I think, and then you like look at Cairo and Swine out of Shield 1, and he didn't win anything. So yeah, I think it's like pretty safe to put Dylan there. The gap between like this and this is honestly pretty huge. Like it would take Dinner a lot to climb this. But I also think that Dinner is like literally capable of like this, like maybe this. I don't know. It's really like Dinner's just had such a bad year. I don't know what it is. He's had so many close losses. Literally, like he had so many close losses. Like if he won those, he would be like here and like maybe here. It's fucking crazy. Like he's nearly beaten Brandon, he's nearly beaten Inferno, and he's also nearly beaten Joey Blaze. Barely lost to Alma Rose. Like literally, it's ridiculous. Like all of these, he's lost to all of these, but they've been close. You know, have they played? Have the solo carry and Dylan played this year? They have. Yeah, and Dylan lost. So yeah, they've been. You know, they've been close. So it's just unfortunate, I think. And then basically we're left with who are we left with? Sleaze. Got ninth at Swine out of Shield 1. DMBZ. He hasn't actually been to anything this year. What did he go to last year? Oh yeah, he just went to local 7. So yeah, it's like okay, let's look at Sam Sweeney. Did he lost to Tom and Icon? Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go through a little bit. Dot Dust, Swine 2, lost to Booth and Solo Carry, DA Garden, Tommy Lock, 13th. Okay. If I were to say who I honestly think is the best out of these, like it's basically impossible to say, right? Right, Jordan, right, Kernis, 89, ninth. Kernis, 89, has a win over Jordan King. All right, okay. So for that reason, does anyone else have any wins? Jordan King, Tommy, no, 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 no. Cairo, ninth. Sleaze does not. Chiron does not. Yeah, so by process of elimination, you kind of have to put Kernis here. So yeah, that's the top 10. The top sort of the 11 to 15 is kind of really hard to prove. Like okay, let's look at 4 onwards. So Martin is solid number 4 because he's only lost to me, Alma Rose, which he has you know evened out, and Tin God is no longer here. B and DA Garden lost to Booth. And then like everyone who's not on the list basically doesn't really have a win. Like Booth is second, has all these wins. He's got like a hella wins actually. And then yeah. Yeah, I think that's honestly it. If I were to say like so if we're to going like based on who I personally think is that's the actual list, right? The rankings, like who I think deserves the placing. This is who I think is uh like how good I think people are. So I don't think you know. Let's have a look. I put Kernis 90. I meant to put 89. Inferno. Like, I think dinner is capable of that. Maybe even fourth, right? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know. Like, it's like a lot of like 5 to 10 is interchangeable, honestly. Like, if there were like very few things could have happened differently, and it would be completely different. But I think that I honestly think that's fair. Like, if you look at the head-to-head set counts, they have arguments, you know. Like Joey Blaze, for example, is kind of like he's beaten Dinner, beaten Solo Carry, uh, who are ranked below, um, and people he's lost to, so Tin God and me, is ranked. And the only reason that Titanium is ranked above is because I simply value his win. Like, he's got the same wins, right, and more. Let's have a look. Hang on a sec. No, he actually doesn't. Let's just say that. Oh my god, they're actually identical. He's lost a Booth, lost a Tin God. So actually, Titanium and Jerry Blazers are identical, but I simply value Brandon's placement more, even though it's actually lower. But it had like more. It was an event where there was more people, um, which is the reason, you know. And then Inferno is where he is because he's beaten Dinner, he's beaten Sleaze, 1-1 with Alma, he's beaten Kernos, lost Tin God, and he's beaten DA Garden. Uh, yeah, and he's lost to me. Who hasn't lost to me? Let's be real. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's my top 10 for the September, the summer 2017 PR. I can't believe it's been, we've been going this long. That's basically it. Like, 11 to 15, I may do or post online or whatever. We may include it. But very few things honestly separate the differences, and a lot of like inactive players I might include as well. Like DMBZ, I'd probably put like here, here maybe. Like, yeah, but about Brandon's level. It's just he just needs to attend. He hasn't been to anything this year, so might include in honorable mentions because like he's good enough to compete with people on this list. So DMBZ is my brother, by the way, FYI. So his skill is from me basically. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll probably just put this on my YouTube or something. I hope this kind of helps. And there's like it's a big difference from last time, honestly. Like, um, and obviously like inactive players. If I were to put Cal on this list, Cal Phillips, I'd put him like where in front of Jesus, behind Booth, maybe in front of Booth. I'm not sure. Probably behind Booth because of like Booth's wins. Uh, and Tin God, I'd probably put below Jesus, like, but above Inferno. I'd probably put him maybe above Tom. I'm not sure. If he attended more, then who knows? But yeah, I think this is fairly safe. Yeah, thanks for watching.